Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Talk. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to do two looks. One is going to be the popular doe eyes, and the second one is going to be the equally popular sultry eyes. And I'm going to be demoing all of this on the Blush Crush palette from Colourpop. So these two eye trends are super popular on TikTok. I think people do it with either makeup or just by changing their angles. For me, my favorite one I saw on TikTok was when people were changing up the makeup. So I want to teach you guys how to do these two very distinct looks, and I want to tell you guys a little bit more about what goes into creating each mood. The different changes as well as the different products that you would use to create this kind of attitude. Because at the end of the day, what these looks are going to convey, it's going to be all about the attitude. And what better tutorial for Valentine's Day than this one, guys? So before we start, I just want to let you guys know that I have a permanent makeup program. It's Hyperreal Academy, and we are partnered with the American Academy of Micropigmentation. So we're offering the 100-hour fundamental course, which is a requirement if you want to work in New Jersey. And I highly suggest that if you're on the fence about it, go for it. So if you want to learn about how to get started in permanent makeup and how to make six figures as an artist, definitely let me know, and you can ask any question you want. Just go on hyperrealacademy.com and check us out. Okay, I actually didn't want to film today, but just like, can you just promise that you won't make fun of my big, bulging, cystic pimple? Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of soap and I'm gonna pick up my brow. I think having a more relaxed brow creates a more youthful look. That's why for these kind of youthful, cutesy looks, I would prefer to keep the brows soft and fluffy, and I wouldn't give it too much of an arch. So with Ariana Grande, her favorite way to do her eyebrows is to keep them just razor straight. And when they're straight like that, they always give off the appearance of a more youthful look. And when you lift your brows with soap in the front, as opposed to at the arches, basically increasing your lid space just a little bit, and that's all you need to create that youthful appearance. Take a shot for every time I say youthful. So next I'm gonna take my brow color, which is this gray shade from Tarte. I don't know if it still matches. I don't know if anything matches anymore. I'm just gonna take that on a regular brush, and I'm just gonna gently shade, starting from the base and flicking upwards. You wanna keep your look nice and soft. You don't want it to look like a harsh line, so this flicking motion is really important. And when we add pigment, we add it layer by layer. We don't do it block by block. So this is like my #1 favorite technique for the brows. And I do this on all of my editorial shoots. I do this on almost every single magazine that I ever do. And in my opinion, as a professional artist, I like it more than dip brow, because the results are a little bit more natural and they catch better on camera. Next up, we're gonna be using our eye base, and I am going to be using my Makeup Forever Aqua XL. This is kind of like a pearly beige shade. It's one of my all-time favorites. So when you're applying a luminous base on the eyes, I usually like to start from the inner corner, work my way towards the lid, and I'm gonna blend the rest out to the outer corner and into the brow bone. And remember, you can layer this product, but you wanna make sure to blend it out as soon as possible before it sets. Because similar to the MAC Paint Pot, this product sets really fast, and once it sets, it's pretty much immovable. It's just, in my opinion, it's a little bit more of an advanced product just because of how quickly it sets. So you really have to know exactly what you're doing with it as you're doing it. And that's not hard. With a little practice, it's not hard. I'm gonna be using the shade Love Sick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that shade into my brow bone area, and then I'm gonna drag that down towards my nose bridge. And in order to create that contour effect, I'm gonna be using the shade Cheek to Cheek. And I'm gonna mix it with the middle shade, Made You Blush. And I love the finishes on these because there's some mattes, but there's also some sparkles. So hopefully they look good. I haven't tried this product. I've never been let down by a Colourpop palette though, like real talk. So I'm gonna take a flat lay down brush and I'm just gonna go into the inner corner just slightly. You see how there's barely any color because this is not really a dark shade. There's a lot of pink that blends well with the Aqua Excel. According to what I'm seeing on camera, but in real life, it looks really, really pretty. And the reason why is because you want to add a little bit of depth so your eyes don't look like they're just bulging out of your head. But at the same time, you don't want to create too much darkness because the more dark it is, the more it kind of leans into the more sultry mood. Then we're gonna take that shade, cheek to cheek, without the pink shade, and we're gonna tap that into the outer corner, and we're gonna slightly pull it up towards the brow bone, so we have a little lift going on. And the more your corner of the eye is lifted, the more youthful your face is gonna look. But then again, if you add too much darkness, it's gonna look more like fox eyes, it's gonna look a little bit sultrier. And I'm gonna take that same shade cheek to cheek, and I'm just gonna extend it downward into my lower lash line. You wanna add color to the lower lids, otherwise, if it looks too top heavy, it actually pulls the look down a little bit. And I know it makes the eyes look a lot darker and a lot less bright, but we're gonna fix that by adding some shimmer. And I'm avoiding adding pink to the lower lash line area. I'm just gonna use that like warm taupe shade. The more redness and pink you add under the eyes, the more it makes it look like an infection. So you don't want that. I remember when red eyeshadow was so popular, I used to do so much just like blended under the lash line, and I thought it looked good. It looked bad. I would be going on a date and people would be looking at me like, this bitch needs an EpiPen. Don't do red under the lash line. It almost never, ever, ever looks good unless it's very well controlled and well contained. Just so you know. The more you know. And I'm gonna go into the darkest shade, which is the blush wine shade right here. And I'm just gonna use that right at the very edge of the outer corner, coming through with the shade Enamored. I'm just gonna drop that right in between the contour and the open lid space. And finally, go into the shade Pop a Bottle up top. Drop that into the middle of the lid, the very, very middle of the lid. And that's gonna give a gentle spotlight effect. And the best part of doing the spotlight technique is that when the rest of your lid isn't too dark, it doesn't give such a pronounced effect. So it actually makes your skin look super dewy and fresh. And I'm like the queen of dewy looks on matte skin. I love how the lids look almost a little wet. It's really, really, really pretty. I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever Starlit Powder in the shade Ivory. And I'm gonna add the most prominent highlights. So I'm gonna go into the inner corner. I'm gonna hover this a little bit past the inner corner actually, to create that kind of teardrop look. I'm just gonna trace it back into the inner corner. And the more lightness you add here, the more it's gonna kind of puff your eyes up like this. And it's really popular in Asia. This is a really, really popular Asian beauty trend. And I'm just gonna line the waterline, starting from the middle, working my way towards the inner corner. And I'm not gonna line the waterline in the outer corner because that's gonna be too much. It's gonna almost break the illusion a little bit. I'm gonna use a very, very lengthening mascara, and this is gonna be the Benefit Magnetic mascara. I mean, theoretically, it probably should work. I don't know. I've never considered using a magnet to stretch out my lashes. But then again, that probably explains why I'm not a billionaire. And I'm just gonna do a very, very small, almost barely there kind of line. And it's gonna fan it into a baby wing. And the baby wing is there to give your eyes just that extra touch of roundness. And today I'm gonna be using the Kiss MLBP lashes in the style Blessed. So now I'm gonna teach you guys how to, real quick, do blush for this kind of eye look. So I'm gonna be using a liquid blush. This is the Glowgasm Light Beauty Light Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just gonna apply it to the center of the cheek. I'm trying to create roundness by using blush placement. And starting from the apple of the cheek and radiating outward is the best way to do it. And by using a luminous blush, so blush with highlight, further emphasizing the roundness of your face by adding that extra layer of luminosity to it. I actually don't think this is a bad technique for square faces. This is actually a pretty good technique for square faces. One of the people that wears this a lot is Kylie Jenner. I have a Kylie Jenner makeup tutorial, so if you guys want to check that out. And it's not just me trying to like disguise myself as Kylie Jenner. I'm actually kind of showing some of her techniques and how you can use it on your own features. And for looks like this, I typically don't do a contour, but if you want, you can do like the slightest contour underneath your jawline or a little bit at your cheekbone, but normally I wouldn't do it. So then the final step is gonna be your lip product, and I'm gonna be using the Nicki Minaj lipstick. I don't know, this is probably still expired, doesn't matter. And then I'm just gonna blend it out. And by blending out only the Cupid's bow and the bottom lip, the center of the bottom lip, you're adding a lot of volume, but you're also not making your lips look too huge and aging you at the same time. Because when you push your lips out from here, it actually ages you. So try your best not to overline in this corner area and focus most of your overline in the center area. It makes you look so much more youthful. And that's it. So this is the first look. This is the doe eye look. Next look is gonna be the sultry eye. So there's actually, I'm gonna just add this look on top of this one, and I'm gonna teach you how to take your look basically from day to night using the same color palette and using just about the same products. So let's keep it going. First things first, we're gonna change our eyebrows enough to create a brand new illusion off of the existing canvas. Watch closely. We're gonna be taking our darker pencil and we're gonna create 2 more hairs per eyebrow in the front. Having your eyebrows closer together increases the intensity of your look. And we're gonna take the same pencil, we're gonna emphasize the arch just a little bit. And do not overdo this because remember, you already have product on your eyebrows. So now we just defined the arches. So already you see a big change in this shape. So I'm gonna be using a light brown pencil, which is dark enough to create the shape that we want. I'm gonna sketch a little bit past my wing, and I'm gonna extend the wing out just a little bit more. And then we're gonna add this on top of the inner corner shade to darken it. And remember, the Makeup Forever pencils, not the waterproof ones, the regular ones, these can go right over powder and blend beautifully. And then add a little bit more shading to the outer corner. So you have a smooth transition. You always want to taper it back down to the lash line. And then you can blend the pencil slightly with like a tiny brush. I'm gonna mix a little bit of Love Sick with Cheek to Cheek, and hopefully that'll give me a decent contour shade and it won't be too red, hopefully. Go ahead and plop this color right underneath the brows, and we're gonna blend this all the way into our nose bridge. That's gonna add intensity to both of your eyes. Okay, this is coming across just a little bit too pinky, too red. It works for me because of my unique situation here, but I think for you guys, you might want to instead switch this out for a contour, like a true contour shade, or switch it out for your bronzer shade. And I think you'll get better results. So we're gonna use the shade How Rouge, and I'm just gonna build on that pencil. And because we have so much shimmer from the earlier look, I'm gonna cover a little bit of that. And don't be afraid to extend this into where we had that bright eyeshadow earlier. We're gonna extend this darkness a little bit past where we applied our highlight. Now you can blend this a little bit into your contour if you'd like to, so you don't have that gap. And that way it makes your eyes look even more deep set. So next we're gonna be going into our darkest shade, which is gonna be Blush Wine. It's this really rich cocoa brown color. It's so beautiful. And we're gonna concentrate this dark color all the way into the deepest part of the outer corner and a little bit in the inner corner, not as much. And then we can drop that shade all the way into the lower lash line. And we're gonna deepen that color all the way through. If you want, you can take a clean brush and just blend out the edge so you get that soft, washed out effect. Because yeah, we're not looking for fierce today, we're looking for sultry. And you always want to point that color towards the tip of your brow, the end of your brow. So the one part on your eye that you haven't touched is hopefully the very center of each lid where we had our highlight shade from the last look. So hopefully we didn't disturb that too much, so we can just leave it as is. So now we're gonna go back in with our liquid liner pen, and we can just go ahead and we can even make a bigger wing. And having that bigger wing makes it just a little pointier. And when that happens, you get less of a cute look and more of a seductive, sultry look. We're gonna take this dark brown pencil and we're going to create a wing at the inner corner and extend it into the inner corner. And then to further deepen it, we can take a tiny, tiny pen and just carry that line all the way into the waterline. So you get a sharp wing here, you get a sharp wing here. It just looks really clean and it gives you that kind of cat look. And hopefully by now, like all the cuteness kind of just went away. I'm going to be using my velour lashes in the style Mini Me. These are 3/4 length lashes. They're so, so, so pretty. And this is the eye look. So now that we have our lashes on, we're gonna go ahead and fix up the contour to match energies now. I'm gonna be using a bit of a bronzer to kind of warm up the face a little bit. And this is the Too Faced one. Take that contour shade right below my cheekbone, and I'm just gonna contour starting from the bottom up in that sweeping motion. And to add more drama, to intensify the look, I'm gonna do one more sweep of mascara on the lower lashes. So when your lower lashes are heavy, as in like 2 coats of mascara, it actually closes up the eye a little bit. You see this effect really prominently on people like Kim Kardashian. It just really closes up and narrows up the eyes. So that's why these kind of looks pair really well with smoky eyes, such as this one. And of course, now we're probably gonna feel a little silly with our pretty pink lipstick. So we're gonna go ahead and darken that up. So to deepen up the lip shade, we're gonna do a liner, and we're gonna use our brown liner to do this effect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from the Cupid's bow and I'm just gonna trace inward. And this is where we can take a small brush and just kind of blend this a little bit. So we're just gonna be using a darker mauve, slightly brownish liquid lipstick. I really like how I'm not overlining too much on the lips, because when you're emphasizing your eyes, I think a mistake that a lot of people make is that they overline the lips to kind of balance with the eyes. But actually, I almost think that when you have smaller lips that aren't too overlined, it looks better because they're not kind of fighting for attention on your face. So yeah, this is the sultry look. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching both tutorials. Let me know which one's your favorite and let me know which ones you're gonna try. So I'm always looking for new things to try. So if you have any suggestions on the next TikTok trend or any kind of makeup looks that you want me to demonstrate, just let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about any of the products, I'm here to answer them. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Beauty Talk. I'll see you in the next one.